Are you struggling with unit testing a default value in a drop-down menu in Angular? You're not alone. Many developers face this challenge, and today we're going to unravel the mystery behind it. I completely understand how frustrating it can be when your code doesn't behave as expected. You set a default value, but when you check it in your tests, you keep getting an empty string. It's a common issue that can leave you scratching your head. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. A user has a drop-down for selecting a country, and while the redirection works perfectly, they can't seem to get the default value to show up in their unit tests. Sound familiar? Let's dive into this together. So what could be causing this issue? It often comes down to how Angular initializes the component and how the testing environment interacts with it. We'll break it down step by step to help you understand what's going wrong. And stick around. At the end of this video, I'll share a pro tip that can help you avoid similar issues in the future. To begin testing the default value in the select dropdown, the user should ensure that the component is properly initialized with the correct default culture value. Next, the user should check that the select element is bound to the correct model. This is done using Angular's ng-model directive in the template. After confirming the binding, the user should run the test to check if the select element reflects the default value. This involves querying the select element and checking its value. Finally, the user should ensure that the test is executed within the Angular testing framework, allowing for asynchronous operations to complete before making assertions. Fun fact, did you know that the first version of Angular was released in 2010? Since then, it has evolved tremendously, making our lives as developers much easier, most of the time. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach suggested by a user is to call detect changes inside the when-stable function. This ensures that the dropdown is populated correctly before checking its value. Now, let's dive into a different answer from another user. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests a straightforward approach. First, call fixture.detectChanges to ensure the component is updated. Then, query the select element using fixture.debugElementQuery. After logging the select element, call fixture.detectChanges again. Finally, use fixture.whenStable to wait for any asynchronous tasks to complete, and then check if the select element's value equals the default locale, enca. Here's the pro tip I promised. Always ensure your component is fully initialized and stable before running assertions in your tests. This simple habit can save you a lot of headaches. And there you have it. With these steps, you should be able to successfully test the default value in your dropdown. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks on Angular development.